G'day, friends and fans. A feminist who can't stop crying. Well, without much further ado, I don't think any explanation I can give. I've tried several, but any explanation I could give wouldn't pass the litmus test of will YouTube let the video upload? No. Warning, 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 warning. So, you have been warned.
Misogynistic.
How do you define misogyny?
I don't know, I don't like this.
I'm just asking how you define misogyny. Are you okay? Like, do you want to go as in leave? Is it because I asked how you define misogyny? Is that the...
No, I'd like to go home, if that's allowed.
Because I asked about how you define misogyny?
You guys are all...
Yeah, you guys are all misogynists. And I like to go home because I've been humiliated after using a word I cannot define and called out for using it. She is so lost. An entire generation is lost. Millennials are completely lost. Because generation after generation, you have been soaked with feminist propaganda to believe misogyny. And it's left people absolutely clueless because they don't know what the word means and they don't know how to use it. Now, before I continue, I'd like to remind you that I have a merch store and have quite a number of themed merchandise for a while. I've kept... Now, as you know, YouTube viewers, this channel has not been up long on YouTube because it got hacked. And it took me... And instead of pausing, I uploaded videos to other platforms. I started to gain following. I needed some money, so I started I'm also a writer, so I combined the two. These are coffee cups themed on the characters, and I have more to come. Yeah, Emperor Cade is the main character, although technically the Empire is the main character. But I have various coffee cups with more to come. I have more ideas. And the various styles. And I'm going to add more. Also have stainless steel water bottles. And yes, again, so we have more. Alright, so before I continue, I can define misogyny without even looking it up. But I can look it up and actually tell you what it is. Because misogyny is hatred of women. However, that is the Greek original term. However, feminism has corrupted it over the years. First, it was just contempt. Right? So, hatred and or contempt of women. Then it was systemic prejudice against women. Then it was a system of privilege and power where acting either as an individual or part of a system to maintain the patriarchal control of women. And feminism is anti-patriarchal. It is an advocacy for the social, political, and economic equality of the gender sexes. Hail! Comrades! And if you believe that, look around you. Tell me what social, political, or economic inequalities exist. They will tell you it's historic! Historic, I tell you, we have to correct the historical imbalances. That we have to end sexism, exploitation, oppression. Society must have pure equality where gender does not determine opportunity. So, basically, garbage. They want to have society conform to every fantasy, every desire, everybody gets an equal outcome. Everybody gets everything they want. Do you not understand? When an ideology is constantly morphing, it's not progress. It is de-evolution of logic, of reason. It is a manifestation of greed, of envy, of wrath. It is a manifestation of misandry. To constantly blame men for everything. To claim that violence, harassment, online hate, and racism only comes from one source. Everything they say, everything they claim is pure psychological projection. They do not advocate for autonomy, they advocate for groupthink. They claim that women don't have full rights to make their own choices and in education and professional leadership. They all want to be CEO. They all can't stand when an outcome doesn't go their way. They have to constantly tinker, meddle, and gaslight, to blame, deflect, to absolve themselves of any responsibility for anything that goes wrong. Feminism claims to free both men and women from rigid roles, advocating for a merit-based society. Yes, 1,000 years ago, if you were born to a tailor, if you were a tailor's son, you could only be a tailor. That has long since disappeared. But the ideology, the mentality behind that, the Freemasonry mentality, has such permeated society that they can't evolve, they can't move past their paranoia and delusions, that they think they're still fighting some ancient Roman system that doesn't exist anymore. In short, feminism is the problem. And feminism is not the solution, it is the cause of the problem. When you hunt monsters, you become a monster. Well, something like that. I'll just look it up again. Quote. Hunting monsters, quote. Beware that, when fighting monsters, you yourself do not become a monster. For when you gaze long into the abyss stares... Alright. Beware that when fighting monsters, you yourself do not become a monster. For when you gaze long into the abyss gazes also into you. This is a warning about fighting evil. When you adopt the same dark traits as evil. When you dissolve... Alexander Solovey. If you hunt for monsters, you'll find them. To kill a monster, you need a monster, according to Monster Hunter. Oh, well, yeah. Monsters are real, they live inside us, and sometimes they win. Stephen King. Yes, you would know, wouldn't you, Stephen? Yeah, but basically, Nietzsche quotes on fighting evil suggests you study it, but even studying it requires a kind of self-awareness that even studying evil could corrupt you. The true battle is maintaining one's humanity. And we have seen, and I will show you, feminism going off the deep end right now. There is nothing worse than a male feminist. And Dr. Karen, Dr. Karen.
This problem of the brain in the male species occurs in judges, it occurs in politicians, it occurs right across every spectrum because it isn't a class issue, it's not a religious problem, it's a brain disorder in men.
All men? Are you saying it's all men?
Absolutely, Chrissy, and myself as well. I am a man and I have aggressive male instincts. And the only difference perhaps between me and my own darker self is that I have the ability to admit that to myself. And then I want to confront it. And I want to ask myself, why would I, and why, maybe if I could access them, why would I have sexual violent fantasies towards women? Why do I need that? Why do I feel the need to put women down? Why do I have the need to think of them as inferior? And I can come up with some kind of psychological explanation and say yes, because I don't have a relationship with life as a man. I have not got the same relational ability as women who are bio-wired to give birth to babies, to raise them up. Men never do that. They don't come close. We don't have the brain wiring to do life, and we don't have the brain wiring to do relationship. Those, for men, are acquired traits. And
he's evil. He studied evil. He became evil. He hates himself. And he's glorifying self-loathing and hatred. See, this is the problem. When people think of hatred, they think of nastiness. But this nastiness comes so polite. He's repeating everything feminists do. You are mentally ill. No. Men's aggression comes from millions of years of survival. If without aggression, we could not fight wild animals off. Without aggression, we could not run into the fire and save. See, aggression is a driving force. It is neither good nor evil. It is how it is implied. It is not a mental illness. It is a matter of education and self-awareness. The fact that the vast majority of young men are abandoned, ridiculed, befuddled, and made to constantly focus simply on reading, writing, arithmetic, and pulling levers in factories. You were not educated in life. Your father wasn't educated in life. For centuries, we have not been educated. We have been indoctrinated into religions, into politics, into classes, into and this class warfare monk wants to tear down the system because he's an academic, and as an academic he must find answers and solutions and solve all the world's problems. Which is fine when you have good intentions. But first, to claim that men are hardwired for violence against women is absolutely an insane premise. And for a man to say it against men is absolute hate speech, except women are protected, not men. People of colour are protected. So he can say horrible things because social media will protect his rights, not ours, because his feelings matter, not ours. So the social media companies hate us. They do not respect us. Why? And the majority, right? They are trying to create a new majority, a new global order. So they're creating a coalition and to take away our motivation in life. They are taking our women from us, right? To not only just cut us off from support, emotional and psychological support, but to actually literally genocide us. And the women are eating it up, as you can see. Wow, wonderful. Oh, we're so safe. We're going to be saved. Yeah, it's all BS and women are eating it up. Mental illnesses everywhere. And then, look at it. Oh, yes, it's BS. Who is murdering, raping, sexually assaulting, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, let's look at it, shall we? Let's look at the stats on... Yeah, I wonder who said if it yeah. Indeed we are violent, but this man is suggesting that we have bad thoughts. The fact is, look who does it. Right? Oh, then, mate. Jennifer, this is the problem, right? They hate sex so much. They are so corrupted. They are so twisted in their hatred. And this goes back to what I said about hunting monsters. They've stared into the abyss and they've allowed it to twist them. They make stuff up. They always associate things with hyperbole. They always, look at her. The anti-sex. Dirty thoughts, yeah. Feminism is the new Puritans. Yeah, and then suddenly the men want to police our clothes and our thoughts. And again, she won't address the religious groups behind it, because then she has to address, oh no, I'm attacking minorities. They are not a minority. This is the problem. They create this monster called the majority, and that the majority is always right. And then they go on tirades. Human trafficking. Yeah. Well, unless she realises that it's not, yeah. She just goes on and on. This is the problem. Go back and look at the statistics, right? Where 12% of the population commits 51% of the crimes. Where in England, the 90% of the crimes are committed by a ethnic group represented on screen right now. And they excuse it as, oh, it's our lack of culture, it's our lack of understanding. Yet, and judges will pass little to no sentence on these people because they're protected. And feminists are the ones protecting them. And they're always talking about living under the patriarchal system. You are the ones who created it. There is no patriarchy. It's in your head to justify and absolve yourself of not properly raising young boys, of not properly addressing your own sexual proclivities to lure young boys into compromising situations where they cannot express their natural desires without being laughed at, ridiculed, or belittled. Or when a couple do get together, all the anti-sex girls try to rip her away. And then they again, what the great hypocrisy is, women end up having what? If women, what do? They violate their bodies with toys. They violate each other with toys in their hands and their tongues. And then they constantly miserable. We try to save people and we're abused in return. Nihilists are destroying society. It shouldn't be called feminism anymore. It should be called nihilism. It's mental illness to even claim. Yeah, we're not hardwired for violence against women. We violently protected women for thousands of years against all sorts of calamities. And most civilizations have come up with a way, sports, and to exercise out our aggression without taking out aggression on women. But these academics, no, they're so politicized. They cannot be educated. They cannot be saved. Because they're just so in love with the power, the corrupting power attention gives to these nasty people. These nasty people get what? thousands of views, tens of thousands of views. The nastier, the more views they get. Social media is feeding the hatred. It is feeding the demon of nihilism. And we cannot fight this with our words, because our words are silenced. Our words are restricted. Our activities are restricted. Our reach is restricted. Our audience restricts us even. Until we break out of this social media restriction that elevates the corrupt, the buffoonery, and the idiocracy, where protected classes can violate our rights constantly. We are in urgent need of your support. The only way we can break through we must break the social media grip on our speech. That takes a lot of effort, organizations, and money, time and money. But you don't have to always, right? This is not a shakedown, okay? I ain't Mr. Beast, a multi-billionaire asking you to donate to my cause. I'm asking you to support the channel, to like, share, and subscribe. If you can financially support the channel, please. Ko-Fi, Patreon, buy my books, buy my merch, if you can. Because it all supports the cause. We must get these academics defunded, kicked out. We must organize. And it's going to take more than my voice. It's going to take many voices. But if voices are not elevated, if voices cannot reach out of the darkness to the masses, we'll continue to be hunted and persecuted until we have no country left for us old men. They have told us to our face they want to get rid of us. Do not let the abyss win.